Hello, my fellow Cowboys fans, and welcome to this edition of Cowboys Imperial Report. I am the Emperor Marcus Aurelius Maximus. We don't got any time for commercials, so knock off the music and let's get started. Alright, so in Cowboys Imperial postgame, when I was talking about the Redskins at the hotel there, I referred to them as welfare bums and government workers. And then I had some Redskins fans tell me I own a business. How dare you say that? What a stupid stereotype. How's that any different from when you stupid Redskins fans, and you moronic Giants fans, and you idiotic Eagles fans, and you dunces who are fans of other teams characterize Dallas Cowboys fans as being toothless, as being rednecks, as being trailer trash, as being inbred, as being hicks. How's that any different? I mean, you get Cowboys fans from New York that are fans of the team and have Yankee accents, like Veer and Cowboys dude. Huh? And they're supposed to be an inbred hick when they were raised out in the East like that their whole lives? Or what about Al Neary? He was raised in California. What are you going to say about him, huh? He's an inbred hick too? And I don't want to hear about it. I'm not going to talk about the Redskins fans being government workers and welfare bums. I'm not going to talk about it because it's not an issue at all. It was something that was said in the midst of a passionate monologue after a disheartening loss. What would you say you Redskins fans who are holier than thou and sit next to the Pope at masses there? Huh? What would you say? I don't want to hear what you got to say. You leave a message, I'm going to knock it off. Alright, so let's talk about the big issue of the week. T.O. going off on Tony Romo. It was the biggest thing in the world. He said his mole had 3 hairs growing out of it. He said Jessica Simpson doesn't even like him. He said that he and Jason Witten they do something else, like out of Brokeback Mountain. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You know, that kind of thing. So, alright, so here we go. Let's start off with the mouth of the horse here. Straight from the horse's behind. Sources say that, Romo complained to, Owens complained to Romo out of the Dallas Morning News here. Terrell Owens' frustration with the Dallas Cowboys offense carried over from the field to the locker room on Sunday. Okay, fine. So then, and T.O. talks about holding. There was holding going on out there. Sure seemed like it to me. Any other Cowboys fans, you think that? I don't know. To me, I don't want to say yes because I don't want to seem like the Redskin fan sitting down in front of me who was saying, what'd they do to pay off them refs? I leaned down and told him, hey, look, Sonny, a Dallas dollar pays as well as a Washington dollar. That kind of thing. Anyway, so Patrick Creighton says to T.O., man, like I said, the dude's a competitor. Yeah, he's right. Any competitor in this league, a receiver, running back, quarterback, if he doesn't want the ball, no matter what the situation is, what are you playing the position for? And I tend to agree with Creighton there. Creighton, they ought to move him into PR and get him out of wide receiving. Okay, so then the ESPN, they got to give their 2 cents on this matter. All right, so Matt Mosley writes in his blog that he was watching Monday Night Clown Around, and they were talking about T.O. And then Tom Jackson, like I said, Jaws, they ought to call him Jaws. He looks like the Jaws shark. He looks like a shark with like the teeth, that come out of the mouth there. They ought to call him Jaws. So Jaws and Ditka, this is a family show. I could think of some other stuff. They were saying, oh, Jerry's got to talk to T.O., and T.O. is an SOB and that kind of thing. And we should expect that from BSPN. And Mike Ditka's the new Fredo. Here's a tight end who won his only Super Bowl as a player with us, and he turns on us. I don't know what he's so upset over. But I'm glad that T.O. has taken a proactive approach to dealing with the media. I'm glad he's firing shots at them instead of us firing shots at the media's for him. I'm glad he's using his radio show to get back and combat these lies. So then they make a big news story out of it. T.O. takes a shot at Sean Johnson. I like it. And I saw this on MSNBC.com too. This is a big story here. And he talked about BSPN too. Why are they doing this? Why are they hitting on T.O. all the time? Well, he explains. Quote, with the press conference after the game, I felt like I really said nothing wrong. Obviously, it has something to do with the political race, the campaign going on. I think, here's where I come in, BSPN. Their ratings are really down. Anytime I say something, obviously the ratings are going to pick up this week, which is exactly the point. They're slipping in the ratings. It's sweeps week, and they got to do something. So they go hit on T.O. And then he referred to him as Shishan, which we're supposed to think is a big deal. And we'll save that for a little bit later here. And then Jason Witten finally weighs in on the subject. He said he made an appearance on Danica Patrick's show, a radio show, and he says he doesn't think it's a big deal. Quote, obviously he's frustrated because we lost, but he's a big part of what we're doing. He's our guy, and I think everybody knows that and feels confident that we're trying to get him the ball as much as we can. For him to be disappointed, I think we all are. Witten doesn't see any problem with T.O. discussing his role with Romo or whatever. They're very comfortable with each other. They're good enough friends, and they got a good enough relationship that they'll address it that way. What? Well, that dispels what the BSPN says. And then the knockout blow here from the articles. T.O. also clearly stated he has no problems with Tony Romo and doesn't anticipate any. See, if he wanted to take a shot at Romo, he'd have talked about the mole. Kind of like how he talked about Jeff Garcia being gay there. Then Owen said Sunday that he's still confident in Romo. End the story! Take these stories and throw them out the window. They're garbage. Let's get on to football and quit talking about the stinking soap opera the BSPN wants to try to run. For God's sakes, DirecTV ought to put them in the same channel listing as Oxygen, Lifetime, and Soap Network. I get tired of them getting put up there near the sports and the news as if they do that. They don't. They peddle this. They're a junior high network. Okay, so let's get down to football. T.J. Houshmandzadeh is clearly the Bengals receiver for this year with Chad Johnson doing whatever the heck he's doing. T.J. is 8th in the NFL in catches and is tied for 7th with 15 first down receptions. And he's, on pace for his third consecutive 1,000-yard season. He has very deceptive speed. He's quick to the ball and is good at finding soft spots in the zone. He runs very good routes. He goes over the middle. He's no wuss. And he's a tough matchup in man coverage because it's not hard to knock him off his route because of his size. So how do you stop him? Well, he doesn't have blazing speed. So fast corners like Terrence Newman, well, not after Washington, I don't say that, and Adam Jones can stay with him. TJ likes to go deep, but he's more of a possession receiver. So anyway, the pressure's on TJ to make the big play since Johnson is off getting the teeth to be golder. I have no idea what he's doing. Alright, then we have some concerns at safety because Watkins, I'm sorry, Big D88, I don't even know if you watch the show anymore. I don't even know if he blogs or watches the show anymore. He's off with the Giants fans. She's trying to convert him, like out of the Bible where Solomon took part in his concubine and wives practicing with the false idols. Maybe Big D88's doing that with the girlfriend. I have no idea. I don't know where he is. But Watkins' health, his inability to recognize a coverage that led to a Redskin touchdown and getting penalized for being the 12th man on the field, that's really putting his job into jeopardy. So, and he's also playing with a shoulder problem. But don't worry, Roy Williams will be back in about 2 years. The Cowboys have slid in the power rankings. Oh, the Cowboys slid in the BCS, the BS polls. The BS polls. You got the BCS for college, and then the BS polls, so that clumsy white guys on the East Coast can feel important here. Dallas fell from the spot from number 3 They fell down to number 3 in the BSPN blogger poll and down in Vic Carucci's rankings on NFL.com and then Michael Silver's Yahoo.com rankings. Well, you got to be a real Yahoo to read that kind of garbage and think it means anything. That's how the mediates make themselves feel important. Mediates don't really like NFL football. Let me tell you why. Because there is such a thing as no polls, so when they vote on something, it doesn't mean anything. That being said, I see the Dallas Cowboys utilizing Marion Barber a little more and using Felix Jones this time around. This will open up some passing lanes for T.O., so he'll have 2 touchdowns and have over 100 yards receiving. Also, don't forget that this defense, I think, is going to get some pressures on that weak Bengals offensive line. So Ware will have a couple of sacks, and if nothing else, Spencer, Ellis, Canty, Ratliff, those guys are going to get in there for pressures as well. Pac-Man Jones gets his first pick, with a score being 31-17, Cowboys over the Bengals. This is Marcus Aurelius Maximus, and God save the Cowboys.